Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, speaking in vibrato text apparently. I'm back with some more classic Spyro 1, yes, completely. Now, in this episode, Spyro getting a little bit, I was going to say fighty, but a little more head-washy apparently. One thing that I meant to mention in the last episode, but I didn't realise that it was a thing that I'd thought. You know how we've been rescuing dragons lately that we've already rescued? We're doing a bit of a double rescue. Well, for example, we've seen Latif and Cosmos and Cletus and whatnot in other worlds. Their pedestals in the other worlds are still there, so just because you've rescued the same dragon twice doesn't mean that their little pedestal thing disappears where you rescued them the first time. However, this one here, this particular pedestal, this is the only one in the game that, after a certain point, you can no longer utilize. But enough stalling. We have the final boss to take on, which is sad, because we've not even got to see what's inside that last dragon head, and I could do what I did as a child, and what I did in the last episode, and peek through the little opening underneath the snoot just to see what's awaiting inside, but no, I'm going to keep you people in suspense, but look at that lovely shade of green. Okay, are you done looking? Because we're going to face the final boss now. Confronting the Gnastiest of Gnorcs, which, it still doesn't sound quite right to me, you know? Just, Gnorc, I feel like that's a word. Anyway, hello, at last. You're an ass. Oh, and he's shooting crystal spells at me. That's not a good time. Well, we should just... as I said in the last episode, it's been a while since I've done this world, and so it's been a while since I've practiced, so there are a lot of gems to get here, but as I recall, go figure there would be a load of treasure in Gnasty's boss world. It's actually just Gnasty. The G is silent. You can't crystal me, you fuck. You would have thought that spell would be insta-kill, but I feel like it isn't. But then again, I don't remember him actually being able to shoot before. But anyway, you've seen all these locked doors everywhere, and there's that luminous green thief over there. Yeah, this boss is just chase the thiefies who have the keys. And it's just a matter of memorizing the courses, you know, well, I'm kind of prioritizing getting the gems on this first lap, because that's what I've done up until now in this playthrough. Whenever there's been a thief on a convoluted course, I've been like, yeah, but I could just go around and get the gems instead, because we are here for 100% completion after all. Plus, I kind of don't want to cover that final dragon head in this episode. I just want this episode to be the final boss and the end game time town pants. And I'm surprised and disappointed that this project has been so short. But then again, what was I expecting? It's a short game played by someone who is... just a short game played by someone. Full stop. No, played by someone who is good at this game, or comparatively good anyway. I feel like you could probably do some sort of weird cheese jump there and get up straight to him, but I believe this key is the wrong key. We can't get up to him just yet. So, we'll have to head through this locked door instead. Oh no, having to compromise because we have a fucky key. A fuck key. How good would it have been if I could just got the thief on that first corner so I could save time by not having to worry about chasing him after going slowly and getting... I know what I mean. And also, I do like the aesthetic of this area. It is kind of... It's surprisingly different from what we've seen so far. A little bit reminiscent of some of the flight levels, but... Well, I think Wild Flight and a little bit of Icy Flight, that might just be me. But, I don't know, I like the aesthetic of this level. It's definitely to the design team's credit for the levels being so varied, even at this point in the game. And by the way, that's something that I may have mentioned earlier in the series, but it applies now more than ever. Use your flame when chasing thieves. Don't just try to mow them down with charges, because you're gonna have a bad time. Also, you can what am I saying? You could skip the unlocking the door cutscenes in the same way that you can skip unlocking chest cutscenes. And why would you put this type of chest on this runway? And yes, Gnasty himself is the final thief on this long-ass runway, speedway, highway chase sequence scene. So yeah, just like all the other bosses, he's a 3-phase thing, but the first 2 phases aren't even him, so he's essentially just a glorified egg thief, except instead of eggs, it's... well, the lives of dragons, kind of, except we've already well, they weren't even dead, they were just crystallized. Well, whatever. It may sound a little bit like I'm... yeah, a little bit like I'm stalling vocabulary-wise, or otherwise, I don't know. Just, I recall him being very fucky, because, as you can see, he's very fast, and you can sort of only go one way around this course, so... I remember there being some sort of, like, not cheap Mario Kart sticker star kind of bullshit tactic, but there is, like, a trick to doing this where it's not a case of do this one glitchy piece of bullshit, otherwise you will not prosper. Oh. Okay, I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Just, I suppose you have to be fairly quick, is the... Oh my. Toast. I'm looking at these platforms and I'm thinking toast. I don't know. And I thought they'd just go in and out by themselves, but oh no, they're all moving in. That's not good. I suppose we should probably get a fucking move on then, he says, going as slowly as before, and oh no, I died. No. I have to start again from the very beginning. Yay! It's funny, I don't actually remember having that much trouble with this section as a child. I remember having trouble with the first part, and then the rest was kind of cake. Like, the first bit was the hardest part, and so once I got to this bit, I was too busy riding the high of having finally beaten that chargy section, and I don't know. This bit kind of reminds me of the likes of Sonic Adventure, really. Ooh, yep, just made it. And you've got nowhere to run now, so I'll just kill you in the face.
You're toast, boy.
Surprisingly gruesome death considering it's a PlayStation 1 game. I mean, by collectathon standards, anyway.
Sorry I took so long. I kind of forgot about you.
What about Gnasty Gnork?
Nasty Nork is toast.
So now there's order again in the Dragon Kingdom?
Well, mostly. I've still got some treasure to pick up.
What will you do next?
I'd say the sky's the limit.
Well, that was easier than I remember. I hyped this up onto its own episode just because I thought it would take a lot more than that, so I may have to do the remaining stuff in this episode after all. Look, the portal's deactivated, but we went through it anyway, and also there was someone in the credits there whose name was Alan, but spelled with an I, and I don't know how to feel about that, because Alan, not Elaine? Well, whatever. I'm in no position to complain because my name can be spelled multiple ways. So, yeah. This has been Spyro 1. I thought I'd get at least one more episode out of this than I did, but there is still a little bit more left to do. It's just, because I did the final boss so quickly, there's time for it in this episode, and that makes me sad because I was fully expecting to have to record at least 3 episodes in this recording session, and this is the second of 2. Anyway, this is a brilliant game, and thoughts on the project, having almost completed it at this point? Yes, I'm glad I played this, because the Spyro games, well, the classic Spyro games are very, very good, and they deserve to be shared with the world, because a lot of people never got to experience them. Especially in Japan, because, come to think of it, that final boss must be really, really difficult in the Japanese version, given how slow Spyro's charging speed is. Oh god, can you hear that? Mo's complaining. I mentioned this in my most recent vlog, Mo just whinging in the background. Just listen if you can't hear him already. Well, now that he's said his piece... Yes, seriously, I'm glad I was able to LP this, although... I don't know, that makes it sound like it was completely by chance that I had the ability to Let's Play this, and no, this was something that I had planned. Now, as I said before, in this project, I do intend to go and do Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 on my, well, not on my own time, I've played them on my own time enough. I will LP them at some point, but I'm probably going to wait about a year, because I don't want to play games from the same series in too close succession. So I do still intend to play them, and I will say, of the original trilogy, they're all similar enough for them to all be considered Spyro games, and humour. They're... okay, double humour. The initial trilogy, they are all similar enough to be considered Spyro games, but they're all different enough to offer almost completely different experiences as Spyro games. They all do slightly different things with the formula, and look at this is what I meant before. That pedestal no longer exists because it's been overwritten with this pedestal. Magnus, I remember you.
Gnasty's ancient history now. So, what's in there?
I believe this is Gnasty's treasure hoard. But the gate will not open until you have found everything in the Dragon Kingdom. Come back when you have reached 100%.
I mean, you say that, but you actually were the only thing I was missing 100% wise. So yeah, now that portal opens. That dragon mouth was closed because we didn't have this last dragon, but now we do. So look at this, we're at 100%. Feels good, doesn't it? But yes, so this platform now will only replay the dragon we just saw. So the dragon that we rescued from this exact spot when we first entered this homeworld, you can no longer replay that. Well, I mean, you can, because you can go and watch the previous episode as many times as you want, but anyway, Gnasty's loot, or Gnasty's foot if you're willing to misread. That's a very nice shade of green. As a child, before I was good at this game, before I could beat that final boss and whatever, I would stand about here and try to look up into the dragon mouth and try to see what the level's called, and I saw it was Gnasty's loot and I had no idea how to feel about that, so let's take it on. We have plenty of time to do so. And this is a very interesting level, and this, like, you see my gem total at the moment, 12,000. Recall at the start of the game that, one of the dragons was saying,
We now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
there are 2,000 gems in this level! Yeah, so you know how most levels so far have dealt in reds, greens, blues, and yellows? This level is exclusively yellows and pinks, just 10s and 25s. Now you might wonder, how the hell do we get off this initial platform? Well, finally we have some comeuppance. Well, not comeuppance, that's not quite what I mean. We finally have some payoff for doing all the flight levels. Because, I mean, technically, you'd be able to fly in this level anyway, it's just that you'd have to complete all the flight levels and all the other levels to get into this level in the first place, so yes, as promised, Spyro did learn to fly. Just only in this level. And I'm pressing, well, down because inverted flight controls, that's as far up as he can go at the moment, but as you may have seen in the distance just then, and as you can see here, we've got more key thieves. So, by some strange fluke of design, the way this level works is, you find these thieves, and you can't fly after them, you can't fly fast enough, but by catching all the thieves and getting their keys and opening later parts of the level, that raises the cap on how high you can fly, which is a very, very strange design quirk, but, I mean, it makes the level work, and thief, wow. I just charged right into your face. How do you feel about that, sir? Well, you can't feel anything because you're dead. But yes, this level, nothing but yellows and pinks as far as gems go. That's kind of impressive. I mean, look at that. We're up to, what, over 300 gems already, which would be impressive. You think, oh, we're nearly done already, but look, there's gems everywhere. There are 2,000 in this level. It's kind of a little bit cray-cray. And incidentally, a video that I saw between rendering the last one and recording this one is that I mentioned at some point, well, more accurately, Austin on Sugar told me, those propeller boxes where you fling them a bunch of times, then the propeller flies off and opens the chest, those propellers home in on nearby enemies. And just earlier, like, as I said, just now, I saw a video from some other Let's Play who I hadn't heard of at the time, Yoshi Gamer Girl, something like that. I'll put her name on screen because why not? She managed to kill the egg thief in, well, one of the egg thieves in High Caves by using one of those boxes, just like I said you might be able to, in possibly the exact position I said you might be able to. So that just proves that it's a thing that can be done. Pella, would you like to prove my point by hitting that egg thief? I feel like it's probably too far out of range, but I mean, whatever. I tried. Hey, you see, I could get it to work. You see, I did not mean to demonstrate that, but that's exactly what I was referring to. We didn't even have to chase the asshole, we just propellered his ass. Kinky. And as you may have noticed, we can't actually fly any higher until we put the key in its door. So yes, this is a very curious level design-wise, but I like it. It felt like an adequate reward for my child self, and look, we've got a thief in a plane. They become much more common in later games. And yes, that's our next target. We have a thief that we have to chase through the air because the two on land move too quickly for us to fly after. So we're gonna have to be crafty with our flight patterns, but yes. Child me was absolutely thrilled with this level as a 100% completion reward, because, well, according to the game officially we're 100% complete, and this is just above and beyond. And this was alluded to as far back as the opening cutscene of the game, and it's just such a fun level because everything, like, disproportionately compensated for every little thing that you do. Because you get the crazy numbers of gems and all these thieves. It's just so satisfying. And also, because that thief was in a plane, and he could have dropped his key somewhere, like in water or whatever, so you just automatically receive the key in that case, rather than having to go down and pick it up manually like with the other thieves. And I like how this level's laid out as well, because you can always, like, the only door you can access is the one that you're heading to next anyway, so it's not like the opening room of Gnasty Nork the boss, in that you could see multiple keyholes, that's the word, and you don't know which one's the right one. In this case, the only one you can get to is the right one. Now, we have to be a bit more careful with how we chase this thief. Not because it's particularly hard, it's just tighter bends and he's very fast, and I don't want to have to go through this route backwards like I did with that other thief, because, yeah, I want to be able to catch up with your ass and flame you and kill you and somehow catch the key despite you being substantially further away from me and gravity being a thing, and I keep running into this pipe. I don't want to cut this out. There's also half a moon in the sky, in case you didn't notice that. Come on, thief. Also, I suppose I should mention, even though this has nothing to do with anything I've ever LP'd or intend to LP, this section in here reminds me an awful lot of the final boss of Rayman 2. Or, Spyro, why did you turn around on the spot there? You're acting annoyingly like Epona from Master Quest. Yeah, Rayman 2. I would say that, but I don't know if that is truly the final boss, because that game's been ported so many times with so many tweaks and changes and level redesigns and stuff that I don't know for certain if that truly is considered the canonical final boss anymore, but it's very similar to this. It's this sort of love bit of, oh, you're not going up this time, you're staying on my level. And this passage in particular also reminds me of the really annoying lava race in Conker's Bad Fur Day. Again, Rayman 2, Rayman 3, Rayman 1, and Conker's Bad Fur Day, all games that I don't intend to Let's Play. Nothing personal, it's just I don't intend to Let's Play them because I don't think I'll be able to do them that goodly. And you might think, oh, what's the point of this room? We've got 10 gems and that's it. Well, remember the other function of key doors? We've now raised the flight cap again, so we can fly a little bit higher. Look at how much progress. In fact, that's another. This level's kind of a metaphor for making progress, because you could fly higher than you could at the start of the level, and it's kind of awesome. Yeah, at this point we're just following the fireworks, because I think we've got all the thieves now. So, this went well. This was fun. And look how many gems we have, and we're not even halfway done with this level yet, and, well, that's not true. We are more than halfway done insofar as we've done all the main things to do in this level. It's just a matter of rounding up these last few gems, and as is the Insomniac way, as I recall, Insomniac being the game developers here, I believe the first 1,000 or so is just in this outside area with all these chests and stuff. The other 1,000, the last 1,000 gems that we're missing, is all contained in one treasure-gasm room. In fact, 1,050. Just look at this shit. Look at all these pink gems. Look, we are making mad bank. Just look at this room. This is such an Insomniac 100% completion reward room. And look, just look, this fucking purple gem-gasm. And how fitting as well that purple gems should be worth the most, because Spyro is purple. In later games, they're more of a beautiful kind of cherry purple colour, and the blue gems are squarer and more purple, but still in this game it's thematically fitting. And look at our gem count just skyrocket. Look at how good we are at life. There goes 1996, my birth year. 2000, there we go. And then there's this mural. I don't think you can do anything with it. I may be mistaken. I may have an egg and a bacon and be mistaken therewith. But that's it. That's it. I've not just 100%ed, I've 120%ed this game. All 14,000 treasure, because that was alluded to at the start of the game, with the 12,000, or was it 14,000? Oh, we get an extra cutscene for it as well.
Spyro the Dragon, you've defeated Gnasty Gnork, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom. How do you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for the dragon world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Gnasty Gnork and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Gnasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh. Here we go again!
and we get the credits again, but with a different set of levels to cycle through. So I suppose now I can give sincere, they're equally sincere, my final closing thoughts on this project. Disappointed that I got through it in 14 episodes, but I had a hell of a lot of fun playing for this. This was one of the cornerstone games of my childhood, although I think I played Spyro 3 first, and then 2, and then 1, I don't know. But as I said, all 3 games are all distinctly Spyro. They all follow the same formula, they're all very fun, but they do different things that formula, so they all feel distinctly different in their own ways. And so I'm looking forward to Let's Playing the next 2 in the game series, and then stopping there, because I'm not going to bother with Enter the Dragonfly or any of the ones after that, unless they make a real Spyro 4 that's in the style of this, and I doubt they will. The only thing that comes close, I think, is Lemon 3D Studios' Dio, which even then, the original version of that, which is a blatant Spyro ripoff, is so badly made. They said they're going to remake it. I'll look into it when they finish remaking it, but I don't know. At the moment, I still have Spyros 2 and 3 to play through, and I will thoroughly enjoy doing so. But yes, classic collectathon platforming nonsense. By the way, Stuart Copeland, brilliant composer. I can't get through... Well, no seasoned Spyro player can get through Spyro credits without praising him for his work, because... Good grief. Brilliant. Just brilliant music. The Spyro series, certainly the original trilogy, has such iconic and brilliant music. And look, Icy Flight, just to prove my point. But, yeah. This is an immensely fun game. You can get it on the PlayStation Network store. I managed to get the entire original trilogy, like the first 3 Spyro games, on the PSN for actually cheaper than it would have been to just buy Spyro 1 by itself. Which is kind of weird, because I had originally just intended to just buy Spyro 1, because I have discs of Spyros 2 and 3. I have discs of Spyro 1 as well, and I have a PlayStation 2 that can play... a PlayStation 3 that can play PS2 and PS1 games. But the disc I have for Spyro 1 is so old that the PS2 won't recognize it. But Spyros 2 and 3 should be fine with it, but I have the digital versions of it now, so... whatever. I think the only advantage to having... if I'd used my original disc, then we would have heard the original High Cave, or the European High Caves theme, but it's whatever. Damn it, wedding cake. So this has been fun, and, well, that's it for Spyro 1, unfortunately. This has been immense fun, but we're done. 100%, 120% complete. Crazy fun. So, that's it. I have been, will continue to be, Tessellating Hexagons, and I do hope you can join me in my next Let's Play, which may be a versus. I'm talking to people about it, so enough rambling on my part. This has been Spyro 1, this has been crazy fun, and I will see you in my next video. Have nice lives, you lovely, lovely people. Yeah!